All right. Peace and love, fam. Happy 2026. Happy New Year to you. I'm Royce Fletcher Thomason, and we're back for another Sunday Hope and Healing session. Our first Sunday Hope and Healing session of 2026. This is a good year, and I'm thankful for all of the wonderful things that come December 31st, 2026, that we can look back on and talk about all the wonderful things that unfolded for us over the course of 2026. So again, I'm thankful for that. And so we're starting off this year with some healing. And I'm just seeing now that this looks like I messed it up somehow. As you can see, I'm in my car. At least 26 weekends last year, I was out of town, including the last weekend of 2025, out of town the first weekend of 2026. And I'm off in the car and pausing to do today's Sunday Hope and Healing session. So towards the latter part of last year, I think it might have been October, but anyway, it was toward the latter part of last year, started a series dealing with making the best of the life and the body that you've been given. And so we've been doing that for the last couple months of 2025. We were doing that for the first Sunday of the month. And we're continuing doing that today. And so today we continue in our series of making the most of the life and the body that you've been given. The life that we have is a gift. The life that we live is the life that we have is the gift that we've been given. The life that we live is the gift that we give. I'm going to say that again. The life that we have, the life we've been blessed with, is the gift that we've been given. The life that we live is the gift that we give. Okay? And so I know that all of us have different challenges in our lives. All of us have things in our life that if we had it to do over again, we would, or if we could pick and choose things that would have occurred in our lives, we might not have chosen or opted for some of the experiences that we've had. All of us had some difficulties, some challenges, some experiences that just weren't very pleasant, that we may have felt like we'd rather do without. With that said, we've also had some blessings, some wonderful gifts, and some wonderful opportunities. And a lot of those things can sometimes be taken for granted. It's easy sometimes to take things for granted, but the fact of the matter is, no matter what your situation is, no matter what your situation has been, there's always somebody else who's worse off than you. There's always somebody else who's worse off than you. I know people who have been going around living life normally, and then they encountered some accident and it totally changed their life. It totally changed their life. And yet, even people who have gone so much as experiencing death, where they actually flatlined and ended up, coming back to life, even they have a whole lot to be grateful for. And so, whatever life you have is a gift. I want to start with that. Whatever life you have is most certainly a gift. And as an expression of gratitude, as we endeavor to enter into a sustainable state of supreme satisfaction, it doesn't work for us to be dwelling in a state of supreme satisfaction or a perpetual state of satisfaction if we're always in a state of complaining, if we're always in a state of lack, if we're always in a mindset of what it is that we don't have. Yeah, well, there's always somebody that has something that you don't have. And there's always something that you have that somebody else doesn't have, right? But the more we can dwell in that state of gratitude and look for ways that we can sow goodness into the world, looking for ways that we can make the most of the life that we've been blessed with, looking to make the most of the body that we've been blessed to have. I'm very blessed with the body that I have. It usually does what it's supposed to do most of the time, right? I'm able to sit upright, erect. I can stand and walk, you know. Um, my organs function, reasonably well. I'm blessed with a body that does a lot of wonderful things, and so I'm being a little more intentional in taking care of it as I take a sip of my avocado, lime, organic spinach, organic kale, pineapple smoothie. Even though I felt tempted to go to First Watch and get pancakes. Anyway, even those would have been healthy pancakes, though, or as far as pancakes go, on the healthier side. But we're doing healing today. We're starting off the year with healing to help us establish some healthy habits, some healthy patterns, because a lot of you perhaps started making New Year's resolutions. And as New Year's resolutions go, people have these, ambitious ideas. And then by the time the second week of the year hits, those ambitious ideas have kind of gone to the wayside, a lot of, most of, if not all of the time, right? So we're going to do some healing. I encourage you to just tap into this healing. Allow it to flow in you and flow through you to strengthen you in areas where there might be some weaknesses within your energetic field. Okay. Where there might be some lapses or some breaks or some blockages, some disconnections within you, within your beingness, and to repair those, set them back on a path of wholeness, and thus set you back on a path of wholeness. All of us, for all of us. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a prayer. God, I know you to be a healer. And on this first Sunday in January 2026, I'm so thankful to be blessed with the gift of demonstrating you as a healer. On the behalf of all of those who choose to participate in this and are either silently or out loud stating their names right now, for the purpose of strengthening our entire energetic structure, clearing all of the debris out, opening up new doors of opportunity for greater blessings to flow, and bringing us to a whole new level of well-being, a whole new level of wholeness, a whole new level of freedom of full self-expression, an expression of your goodness and your love and your grace. And I bear witness to our wholeness on this date and in this time and space called now. Thank you. Thank you for this gift of your divine love. It is done. It is done. It is done. All right. I'm not able to see. It looks like somebody put a comment, maybe, but it looks so incredibly small. I'm not even able to make out what it is that was said or who it was that was said. It looks like it might be Curly Conscious King. If that's the case, greetings to you, my brother. It's always good to have you in the space. Hope this year 2026 is getting off to a good start. And I'm thankful for what this session is offering to help support you in that, as well as everybody who's tuned in and participating in this. All right, so let's look at something that just came up as like the grave clothes, taking off the grave clothes, letting those things that really were not worthy of entering into this new phase of life with you, to be laid to rest. And with regard to being willing to lay those things to rest, I want to strengthen us to be able to overcome a fear of loss, offer support in terms of grieving that which had been a part of us, even though it wasn't necessarily a good thing, that um, that it may have been hard for, or may otherwise be hard for us to let go of, or for us to overcome. Okay, all right. Also, want to strengthen us to be able to walk in a state of lightness. What I mean by that is no longer being weighed down, bogged down by the heaviness of life, but to be able to um, unhitch the trailer full of baggage that we had been previously carrying around, to be able to let that go and to be okay with it. Strengthen us to be okay with letting go of that which is no longer serving our highest and best good, and to create a sense of um, congruence. That's the word I was looking for. Strengthen us to have a sense of congruence with the blessings that are seeking us out. Okay. To be able to strengthen us to be able to have a boldness to show up as who we really are. To not hide our true selves, to not hide our light, but to be able um, to live freely in the truth of who it is that we are, whatever that is. You weren't designed to be just like everybody else. You were designed uniquely. You have a unique fingerprint that none of the other 8.5 billion people on the planet have. There's something unique and special about you. So want to strengthen us to be able to contently and confidently walk in our own uniqueness, and to have the strength and the courage to honor the uniqueness of our own path, our own individual path. There's a path and a plan and a purpose for your life that isn't the same as everybody else's. So I want to strengthen us to be able to be attuned to that path, to be congruent with it on the level of our subconscious, to be subconsciously congruent with the path that is uniquely and authentically our own, and to have not only the freedom, but a sense of fulfillment in walking that path with confidence, walking that path with joy, walking that path in a way that we experience a sense of profound fulfillment, and where we feel confident that we are making a positive impact on those with whom we come in contact. All right. Looks like this one comment has just been stuck on the screen. I've been trying to, I don't know if that's the only comment that there's been. Doing this from the phone is a little bit different. At any rate, let's go ahead and keep going. All right. So wanted to take a look for a moment now at having a sense of fitness, like not running out of steam in terms of pursuing our goals. Okay. To be able to have, to be fit to reach the finish line, even though the finish line isn't something that we necessarily ever get to, because we're always unfolding, we're always growing. The path is continuing to unfold before us, and we continue to walk in the way that that our path is leading. So we went on in that sense ever get to the finish line per se, but to be able to have the fitness and endurance to continue to pursue that which we've been divinely designed to pursue, to continue to walk out and work out that which is ours to do. Okay. Without getting like worn out or worn down or burned out or losing interest, but to be able to continue to go forward enthusiastically, and energetically. Okay. All right. Okay. Now let's also look to address um, clearing our inner ear. Clearing our inner ear. And when I say our inner ear, I'm first of all talking about physically clearing out our inner ear, and also spiritually clearing out our inner ear. Okay. Clearing out our inner ear spiritually so that we can hear what it is that's for us, what steps that we are to take, and to be able to create a good, healthy, strong line of communication between our ears and our hands, our ears and our feet, so that we get these messages, these divine messages of what it is that we're to do, what it is that we're to carry out, and then we actually work it. Then we actually walk in that path. Okay, so strengthen us for that. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. All right. And for this to be a way that we actually experience a sense of reward. So, by actually carrying out which is that for us to do, we actually trigger serotonin and dopamine releases. Okay. The serotonin gives you a good feeling. The dopamine that has like gives you like a reward sensation. So for us to be able to actually mm, properly earn those dopamine releases through the commitment to following the way that has been divinely designed for us. Okay. And which is ultimately most in alignment with what brings us the greatest level of fulfillment. Okay. And allows us to offer the greatest amount of contribution at the same time. So where we are able to dwell in the space of that which creates an intersection between what we're interested in, what we're good at, what we love, how we can make a contribution, and how we can actually be compensated. Like all of that, the beautiful um, marriage of all of those things together. Mm, that's delicious. It's better than this smoothie, which is a good smoothie, I might add. Okay. All right. So let's look at hmm, let's look at collective consciousness of people in general as it relates to the start of a new year and falling short of the resolutions that they make. So want to make it so that you're no longer affected by that collective consciousness of people who um, have good ideas but don't really have a game plan in place to allow the good idea to be properly sustained. You know, so we want to strengthen us um, for full implementation um, of that which makes us feel fully alive, fully connected, and those things that we have been intentional about in establishing intentions for the year that is ahead of us. Okay. All right. Strengthen us for that. All right. Also, I want to, for the moment, I want to look specifically at the center of creativity within us. I want to clear out any negative memories from the past, of failures from the past that would have us want to give up or make us afraid to try. We want to clear that out. We want to clear that also out of our limbic system and out of our cells, genes, chromosomes, and DNA. We want to clear that out of there. And replace it with a feeling really alive and connected and fulfilled and successful. I want to strengthen us for that feeling of success. Okay. And the feeling of accomplishment for what it is that we have successfully created. All right. Okay. All right. Now I want to take a moment now and I want to look specifically at activating the joy gene within us. Let's activate the joy gene. All right. Activate the joy gene and also activate the God gene. Let's boost us in terms of the activation of the God gene within us. You know that God is in your DNA. A lot of places I can go with that. This is not going to be a full hour though, because even though I'm stopping to do the Sunday Hope and Healing session today, I am indeed stopping, and I do need to continue this journey in terms of making my way back home. All right, and I'm going to strengthen us in terms of being able to experience return to innocence of our true selves. Okay. Deleting sense of guilt and shame for things that we didn't necessarily accomplish last year that we would have liked to, or feel like we've maybe wasted some time or procrastinated too much or dragged our feet on something that we felt like was ours to do and we didn't, like writing a book. I'm gonna raise my hand on that. I'm just gonna put my own business out there and acknowledge that. And so completely forgiving ourselves for those things that we didn't do. And maybe those choices we made and things that we did do that weren't necessarily for our highest and best good or the highest and best good of others as well. So want to actually, in place of that, transmute that into and replace that with a sense of self-forgiveness, deep self-acceptance, and resolve to do better going from here forward. So let's strengthen our resolve. Strengthen our resolve to walk in the way that actually inspires us to be able to feel good about ourselves and the choices that we've made and the actions that we've taken, particularly dealing with the actions that we've taken. So let's strengthen us in terms of being able to take those right actions. With respect to that, also want to address the element of fire in terms of deficiency of the element of fire. We want to boost the element of fire to help strengthen that initiative. Okay. All right, let's increase that by 29%. Okay. All right, now one thing about the fire though is the fire can burn out quickly. It can burn hot, but it can also burn out quickly. So we want it to be able to have staying power. So we want to be able to have the that earth element. Actually, in the Chinese 5-element model, the element of wood to help sustain us and have staying power. All right. I want to optimize that element of wood. And can keep us in a continuous flow state. I want to strengthen us to dwell in, wow, what would that be like? to dwell in a perpetual flow state. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that's something that turns me on thinking about that. Okay. All right. Let's strengthen us to be able to carry that in our imagination, to be able to expect it, believe it, imagine it, and turn that imagination into a reality. All right. Okay. Speaking of imagination, let's strengthen our imagination to be able to um, just run wild with that which can inspire us to newer heights, to greater levels than what we've experienced in the past. Like, what would life be like if such and such and such and such was the case? What would life be like if I felt completely free to do whatever I wanted to do in terms of living my life without having to worry about money? What would it feel like to be completely free to love without reservation? What would it be like to be completely free to give without worry about what the outcome will be, without any sense of lack, without any expectation of if what we're offering will be received, but to be able to do so from open-hearted, free place? What would it be like if we were free to actually be able to take on this undertaking that we've been wanting to take on for so long, but we've been afraid to, and then we see how well it actually unfolds, and our mind is just blown because it went so much better than we could have ever imagined it. And I want to strengthen us for that. I want to strengthen us for that. I want that to not only dwell in the super conscious mind, but in our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. To be able to dwell not only in the realm of ideas, but for it to be able to get deep into our bone marrow, to get deep into our bone marrow and express outwardly through the muscle fibers and the sinew, to where it's being actively carried out in our lives. And things are just really put into motion, just naturally, freely and naturally put into motion. Okay. And before we know it, we look up and wonder, how did we get to this wonderful place? Okay, so I want to strengthen us for that. All right. Strengthen us to be able to have a sense of wonderment, of just how wonderful things can be, and to be able to root that into the earth, root that sense of wonderment into the earth in terms of actually not only wondering, but dwelling in a state of awe, having seen it come to pass. Oh, yes, that is so awesome. Let's strengthen us all for that. I am loving this. Okay. All right, that's looking stronger. Okay. We're going to do a couple more corrections, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter Sunday Hope and Healing session as I'm sitting here with my car running. Okay. But a couple things I want to do is I want to strengthen us to be able to prepare and create a legacy that we can feel really, really good about. Okay. To be able to create and establish a legacy that we feel really, really, really good about. Okay. All right. All right. And for that legacy to be able to have a sense of longevity. May there be longevity in our legacy. All right. And maybe that legacy has something to do with your children. Maybe that legacy has something to do uh, with some accomplishment that you will have made in life, some contribution you have made to life and living. But to be able to nonetheless establish a legacy that you feel really, really good about, um, that is enduring and is set up in a way that it actually becomes self-sustaining. Yeah, self-sustaining. So it's able to perpetuate itself uh, in a way that supports the highest and best good of everybody involved. Yes. Thank you, God. All right. I want to look at another thing I want to look at is I just got this image of like putting feathers on our feet. Okay. Um, where we're able to actually move freely, quickly, and lightly, and we're able to um, like that foot with the feathers on it. Not feathers, wings. I said feathers, but what I meant was wings. Um, is representative of Mercury. Mercury is the messenger. It's for us to be able um, to effectively deliver the message that is us, the, the message that is for us to deliver, for us to be able to share our message, whatever that message is. Okay. And so for us to be able to share our message, we have to have a sense of clarity regarding our message. And so that's strengthen us to be able to have a sense of clarity about what message it is that we're to bring. And maybe that message is something that we're sharing verbally. Maybe that message is something that is conveyed through our actions. Okay. But to be able to have a sense of clarity about what it is that we are to communicate, what message it is for us to deliver for the highest and best good of all. Okay. And to be able to do that in a way that almost feels effortless. It just feels natural for us to do it. Okay. It doesn't feel like a burden. It feels easy. There's a sense of ease and grace. There's a sense of lightness to it. Lightness within us. Even if we're conveying it with some passion, um, where we feel a lightness, a freedom to be able to do so. Okay. All right. And another thing that I want to do to address us is infusing us with a uh, mindset of transcendence. Infusing us with a mindset of transcendence. Empower us to have a transcendent mindset. That no matter what obstacles come our way, no matter what speed bumps might come up along the road that we're traveling on to our destiny, that those are just speed bumps, that they're there to, they may slow us down for a minute, but we're meant to still keep going, and that we naturally do still keep going. So whatever um, obstacles or hiccups there might be, whatever barriers there might be to us fulfilling what it is that we are endeavoring to fulfill, that we're able to just keep on pushing through. Okay, those things don't hold us back. That we're able to truly transcend them. Okay, all right. I'll do one more, and we're going to go ahead and close it down for today. And so this last one that I'm going to do is, and like so many of these things, whole treatments can be done on. But I want to strengthen us in terms of developing an infinity consciousness. Okay, have an infinity consciousness. In terms of infinity consciousness, to be able to see deeply and broadly, to be able to see um, interdimensionally, beyond space and time, and the limitations of those things. What I mean by that in terms of having an infinity consciousness is that nothing is too big to be able to take on, where none of it is scary, because you have a consciousness that the vastness of the universe's resources are at your disposal. Okay. I thank you so much for this healing that's gone forth today. Thank you for blessing us to be able to start off the year with some healing, as we're endeavoring to make the most of the life that we've been given and the body that we've been given. Um, that we're starting off 2026, giving ourselves opportunity and space for things to be cleared up, to strengthen us, to invigorate us, to empower us, to inspire us, to infuse us with that which is able to fuel us for um, the task that we have ahead of us, based on what it is that we have divinely heard and that we are actually carrying out. And to be able to do so with confidence, and to be able to do so with staying power. Thank you so much for the blessings that are upon each and every one of us, and those who are blessed because we are honoring the path that is established for us. Thank you for all of that and all the blessings that you so freely and wondrously bestow upon us. And for this we give great thanks and affirm it is done, it is done, it is done. All righty, my beloveds, it's been good hanging with you today. For all of you, Happy New Year once again. I'm thankful that 2026 was so awesome for you, and that we got to start this year off together. And as we continue to endeavor to enter into the sustainable state of supreme satisfaction until we meet again, I bid you adieu with peace and love. I'll catch you next time.